How would I rank Royal Caribbean's bars, and what's the best drink from that bar? This is a question I got asked recently during one of our YouTube lives, and I thought about this for a long time because there are a lot of great bars and there are a lot of great drinks, but I really wanted to come up with a ranking of the best Royal Caribbean bars based on it having not only a great bar atmosphere, but also a signature drink. Now, there are certain bars that have the standard Royal Caribbean drink menu across them. There's nothing special about them. As an example, if you're on a older ship that still has like the regular pool bar, sky bar, their menus are all the same. Casino typically has the standard menu, etc. But some bars have a more specialized menu. And so, to the best of my ability, after one cup of coffee, this is my list of bars ranked in order from best to quote unquote worst. Not really the case. There are other ones on here, and in fact, I kind of omitted some bars that just didn't make my list at all. I mean, this isn't a comprehensive list. This is a podcast after all, and I didn't want to go through and start like really getting into the nitty gritty. Like there are some bars that didn't make the list at all. Music Hall and Boleros. They both have specialized menus, but they just didn't do anything for me. So I didn't really feel like we needed to, go between like number 12 and 14 and what the difference is between them. I really wanted the bars that stood out that I thought are worth going to, have unique menus, and make the list. But I do have some honorable mentions as well. Anyway, let's get into it. Number one, without a shadow of a doubt, if you've listened to my videos, podcasts over the years, this should not come as a surprise to you. Mason Jar Bar, number one with a bullet. It is so good. The Mason Jar is the country bar available on three ships now, right? Allure, Wonder, and Utopia. I think it's got the best atmosphere. It's the most fun, live music, and their drink menu is fantastic. The PB&J Old Fashioned, my favorite Royal Caribbean drink of any bar, anywhere. It's just a winning combination. So, without a shadow of a doubt, Mason Jar at number one. And some of you may be thinking, Matt, I don't really like country music. I don't think it matters that much. This is all country music you've ever heard. It's like all the hits. Really good. I love it. Number one. Number two, Playmakers. I mean, Playmakers is a sports bar. And what really elevates this bar to number two on my list is the combination of the atmosphere and, of course, the food and the drinks. I mean, I'm all for bars that have great, entertainment. In this case, it's TVs. Okay, fine. But at the same time, you've got food. I mean, this is something you don't usually find at Royal Caribbean bars at all. Royal Caribbean doesn't offer food in nearly any of its bars. Best you're going to be able to do is grab popcorn for a fee, like $2.50 if you go find it. When I was actually on Serenade of the Seas in Alaska, they actually had the popcorn machine in the bar. Did cost extra, but hey, I appreciated the convenience of it. Otherwise, you usually have to go to the theater or somewhere near a theater in order to get it. Anyway, there's usually not food at a bar, so Playmakers gets an edge on that. And the Goalpost Margarita, I mean, you can get a margarita anywhere on the ship, and there are a few different variations of it. But I think the Goalpost Margarita is Royal Caribbean's best margarita you'll find anywhere on board. I'm not sure what the difference is between the mix and whatnot, but anyway, it just tastes better. It's served nicer. And I generally like going to Playmakers, even in the daytime. That's kind of a different vibe, I don't go to the Mason Jar in the daytime. Rarely, if I ever go there. But I will say Playmakers is great in the daytime as much as it is in the nighttime. Obviously, if there's game on that you enjoy, it's even better. But I put Playmakers number two. Number three, all right, this one is near and dear to my heart because it's been my favorite bar for a long, 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 long time. And that is the pub on whatever ship. I mean, it has different names depending on which ship you're on. But I love the pub on Royal Caribbean ships. This is the English style pub. The atmosphere here is by far the biggest draw. You've got the guitar player who comes in the evenings, and this is why I go to the pub. Because I love hearing it's bar music, very similar to what the Mason Jar has to offer. But it's the kind of, the bar songs you've heard many, many times, whether through a jukebox or actually a band performing. But it's that classic rock, sing along songs, things of that nature. And I love the pub a lot more. And I apologize to our friends who are listening who are Schooner Bar fans because it's going to be way down on my list. But I think guitarists, or guitar music rather, is better for a bar atmosphere than piano. I know there are people that'll be up in arms about this, but that's the hill I'm standing on this one. I think the pub is really good. Now, in terms of drinks, they do have a specialized menu. There are a lot of drinks on that menu, like special cocktails. None of them do anything for me. So maybe that's why he gets knocked down to number three on my list. I mean, personally, I was just trying to think, what do I usually get here? I mean, you can't go wrong with a Guinness. And you can't usually find Guinness in every single bar on Royal Caribbean, depending on which ship you're on. But I mean, for me, having a can of Guinness poured into a pint glass, listening to the music, I mean, it's just win-win all around. At number 4, we've got the lime and coconut. I mean, this is really a game changer when it comes to the pool bar vibe. If you've been on Royal Caribbean's older ships that don't have the lime and coconut, and then you go to the lime and coconut, I mean, the variety of drinks alone makes a big difference. In fact, my favorite drink here, and why it's on my list, is the, well, appropriately named lime and coconut. I remember seeing it for a while and was like, well, that looks weird. And then one of our writers recommended it. And I was like, is it really good? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And then I had like 3 of them because they were really, I mean, I'm not a huge coconut fan, but this drink is undeniably tasty and addictive. And you will have a lot of them. So the lime and coconut is a great drink. And the lime and coconut bar is fantastic. They have a huge menu. I like this resort style vibe that the lime and coconut has. It's one of Royal Caribbean's better ideas they've come up with. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It's been expanded to a number of different ships now. And there's probably a better chance if you go on a Royal Caribbean ship today, you'll encounter a ship with lime and coconut than not. So, huge, huge win. Next on my list is one that's only available on 2 ships, but I think it deserves to be on the list, and that's the Bamboo Room. The Bamboo Room is only on Mariner and Navigator, and it's a tiki bar. Now, Royal Caribbean kind of abandoned the motif, and actually the follow up to that we'll get to on our list here. But the reason why I like the Bamboo Room is a couple things. Number one, it's intimate, it's quiet. It's not there isn't any entertainment in here, so you're not gonna find a singer or a performer of any kind, which honestly brings this down on the list. Otherwise, it'd be much higher on the list. But it's my one of my favorite bars to go to simply have a drink, sit at the bar first and foremost. I mean, you can't sit if you got friends and you want to have a conversation, sit at the booths. But I love going and sitting at the bar, and I'm all for bars that have a great bar experience. Like you're actually at the bar. Some bars you sit at the bar and it's like you're doing your own thing. But for whatever reason, the Bamboo Room just kind of like it doesn't encourage it, but it just seems to you get a lot more conversation started when you're over there. So for whatever reason, that's where it is. And the drink, they have a special menu here. The Royal Zombie is definitely a great drink. I recommend that a lot. So Bamboo Room making the list. All right, it's now time for the Schooner Bar to make my list here. Schooner Bar admittedly has a great menu. In fact, we're looking to refresh it a couple of years ago. I think it's a huge upgrade. The toasted marshmallow old fashioned is worthy of trying out, even if you're not an old fashioned fan like me. I think it's just really good, really tasty. It's not as good as the PB&J Old Fashioned, not even close, but it's a solid like second place for that. But the Schooner Bar is, I mean, it's a staple of Royal Caribbean. I could not leave it out of this. I thought that you've got trivia in the daytime. You do have the piano player. Now, just like the pub singer, some are better than others. Some Schooner Bar players I really enjoy, and some I just cannot stand. And that's why it's so low on my list because it's very hit or miss, peak and valleys, ebbs and flows. I mean, my favorite Schooner Bar player of all time is Jennifer Hart. And if you see her, she's fantastic. Justin Golan is also number 2. They're wonderful, but there's some others that are just like, I mean, when I walk in there, I'm like, how do people sit here for hours and watch this? But hey, listen, more power to you. But I will say the drink menu is certainly fantastic. Next is the 1400 bar available on the Icon class ships. This bar has grown on me. I remember thinking it's a nice bar, but it's your lobby bar. It's your, hey, we're on the ship. Here it is. It has no entertainment factor. It can get very loud because it's right on the Royal Promenade. It has nice seating and some nice views out there. But what I like about the 1400 bar is number one, completely new menu, unique menu. It has the 1400 drink, which is that bubble drink you've probably seen photos of or videos of. Really, really good. I like this quite a bit. If it had entertainment or a little more enclosed, I'd probably like it more. But the 1400 bar makes the list. And then we have the Pesky Parrot. The Pesky Parrot is the follow-up, if you will. I don't think Roken will call it that, but it's another idea of a tiki bar. This is more of a Polynesian bar than a tiki bar, if you want to split hairs about it. I do like this a lot more than I thought I would. Remember, Pesky Parrot replaced essentially the Bionic Bar, which is a huge win. Thank God that's gone. That being said, they have nearly all their signature drinks are frozen drinks that come out of a machine. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Pesky's Peanut Butter Pina is probably what I would pick out of it. But I guess I'm just not that much of a frozen drink fan from a machine. Like I don't know what the machine is technically called. Slushy machine? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. But they are good drinks. And it is really good atmosphere. And the fact that it's on the Royal Promenade, I am surprised how much of a good vibe it has and isn't as impacted by what's happening on the Royal Promenade. Like the 1400 bar suffers from being exposed to the Royal Promenade. Pesky Parrot is as well, but not as much. But I do think the 1400 bar drink menu is better, which is why I ranked it in this order. So there you have it. I do have 3 honorable mentions that didn't make my list, but I do think are good in that they either have a really good bar experience or really good drink experience, but don't have the total thing, so I didn't really include it in here. Number 1, Trellis Bar. I love the Trellis Bar. Trellis Bar is in Central Park. Great atmosphere. I love going there, but it's so dependent on the weather because, if it's too hot or too humid or too rainy or too sunny, I won't go out there. So it's got to be Goldilocks situation, and they don't have a special drink menu at all, but a really nice spot. And when the weather cooperates, one of my favorite pre-dinner, post-dinner drink places to go to. Number 2, Dueling Pianos. I love the entertainment in Dueling Pianos. Love, love, love. They have a special drink menu. That Pop Rocks drink is gross. I've tried it a couple times. It's gross. I'm sorry. I'm not 11 years old anymore. Pop Rocks doesn't do it for me. It's too sweet. It's whatever. So their drinks really don't have much in there, but I do love the entertainment at Dueling Pianos. Probably should have made my list, but as I was going through all of it, and I was like, what did I miss? And then I found Dueling Pianos. I was like, oh, well, I'm guessing maybe I didn't have enough coffee in order to make it the list. It's a great bar. I mean, for entertainment, it's worth going to. It's also a pain in the butt to get in there because like everyone and their mother also thinks it's a great bar to hang out in. And so if you're not like getting a table 40 minutes beforehand, you're not getting a table over there. And then lastly, Ryan Bean. They have lots of coffee cocktails. I don't generally love coffee cocktails. Like, I mean, I'm not just talking about espresso martinis. I'm talking about like all the rest of them. I admire Royal Caribbean for coming up with a special menu. I applaud them for doing so. I love that they're thinking outside the box. I think it's a great area in the front of the ship. I remember when I was on Star of the Seas, I was hanging out with some fellow Royal Caribbean blog insiders, and we had a drink over there. It was really nice. But I don't think I've ever said, friends, let's go to the Ryan Bean to go hang out. I mean, I'll probably go to the Overlook more, and then, oh, look, Ryan Bean is there. It's a good bar. And for folks that like coffee cocktails, it's fantastic. But, obviously, if you're also the other problem with this, anything going on in the Aquadome, I mean, you can't have a conversation. It's so loud over there. But otherwise, great place. So there you have it. I'm sure some of you will hate my choices, my rankings, or just hate me in general, which is fine. It's okay. I'll cry myself to sleep at night. But there are my bar rankings with the best drink at each bar. All right, friends, time to answer listener emails. The part of the podcast where I answer the emails you send me. You can always email me your question, matt@royalcaribbeanblog.com. First email is from somebody from Toronto, Canada. Looking for some suggestions where we can take a cruise vacation. 7 days has a lot of walking in it. We've been many times in the Mediterranean, now getting tired of it. Any suggestions you can offer would be appreciated. I don't think I've ever gotten this question. A cruise where you can do a lot of walking. Okay. That's a great question. The Med is obviously great. I mean, you want to go to a city. Basically, you're leaning towards an itinerary with cities as opposed to beaches. If you go to the beach, you're going to walk 10 feet and then you'll be in the beach. So you've done the Med. The Northern European itineraries would also come to mind. I mean, really anywhere in Europe. But I've done cruises to northern Spain and northern France. Lots of walking there. Lots and lots of walking. I mean, you could visit Paris, Bordeaux, Bilbao. Lots of walking. In Norway, the cities, depends on the cities you visit. Bremen and Oslo, yes, lots of walking. Copenhagen, absolutely a lot of walking. In fact, when we did our cruise, I think I already have the answer for you. We did it last year. We did in Northern European cities. It was Copenhagen, Hamburg, Germany, Rotterdam, Oslo. Did I miss one? That's 4. Anyway, great itinerary, lots of walking. You'd love that. If you wanted to venture outside of Europe, I mean, it's not the Caribbean. It's just not. I would probably say Alaska. There's not. I mean, the cities aren't. They're towns. They're towns. They're not even cities. There's not but there's more walking there than there would be, and there's a lot of hiking opportunities. So I'm not sure if you want hiking as opposed to walking, but that's what I recommend for you on that one. Next email is from Carlos. Hi, Matt. Was wondering if you have any recommendations for San Juan, Puerto Rico. Have a cruise later this year and not finding much that suits my family's interests. Family of 3, with a 6-year-old boy. For now, we like the beach, and I'm worried how safe it is to travel around the other side of the island to the beaches. Puerto Rico is pretty safe. It's part of the U.S. I certainly wouldn't think twice about going anywhere else. The Stellaris Resort, from the Marriott Stellaris Resort, has a day pass that you can get through resortforday.com. That's a great choice. And I love day passes for families because they have the beach, they have the pool, there's a water slide. I think it'd be a great choice for your 6-year-old and family in general. Hard to go wrong with that. In Old San Juan, when you're visiting, that is really a walk around the city and explore on your own kind of day. I generally tell people, like, you don't need to book a tour. Just get off the ship and walk around. You have a 6-year-old, there's a couple issues. I mean, there's pluses and minuses. On the one hand, your 6-year-old is not going to care or understand any of the history involved, the culture, right? They're just like, hey, what can we do next? That being said, you could take a 6-year-old to the Spanish fort. There are 2 Spanish forts. There is El Morro and San Cristobal. Both are, if you buy admission to one, you get admission to both of them. And they're really self-guided tours. For your 6-year-old who won't care about the history, there's a lot of like opportunity to crawl and walk and run around it. They're huge, sprawling areas. I mean, El Morro, the walk from the street to the entrance to El Morro is like, I don't know, a quarter of a mile, half a mile. I mean, it's a huge field. They can run around like crazy. Then when they're in the fort, I mean, there's a lot of like climbing, things to climb on. They can do that. So it's not bad. There's also lots of like ice cream shops in town. There's souvenirs. You can make the argument. I've certainly taken my kids when they were 6 over there. It's not impossible. Usually the hours are also fairly limited in San Juan, so you could make it work. Let's put it that way. But if you're like, you just said, for now we like the beach, so Stellaris, which is in like New San Juan. It's not what it's called, just San Juan. But take a taxi there. I certainly would not have any worries about how safe it is to travel. The issue with going anywhere outside of San Juan is the distance required to go to like Fajardo or one of the other beaches like to the east. Yeah, they're really nice and a lot less crowded and more serene. But I mean, the travel time is a lot. And it's more the issue of you getting back to the ship on time than anything else. Is it safe to travel? 100%. Is it, or it's certainly no worse than anywhere else in the U.S., but it's just the ROI on the time, unless you're there from like 9 to, if you're there for like 8 to 10 hours, I just don't think it's really worthwhile. So there you go. Next email is from David Montgomery. Hi, Matt. Love your content. I've been watching for 3 to 4 years. I've never been on a cruise. I'm 57 years old, so it's about damn time. Next week, I'm going on Allure of the Seas to an Eastern Caribbean cruise. I actually convinced my 16-year-old daughter to go with me, which is a minor miracle in itself. I know you have teenagers, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm a single dad since my wife passed away a few years ago. I have a great relationship with my 2 girls. The other one is 19, something that has truly blessed me. I'm kind of anxious about the whole thing, but I'm a very anxious person, so not a surprise. I'm absorbing all your advice, though, so that I do everything reasonable correctly. Any last-minute tips to a newbie on a Royal Caribbean cruise that I should know about? We're checked in, shows are booked, dinners are loosely booked. Thanks again for creating all the great content you do. Not only are your videos very fun and interesting to watch, they're also very useful and have taught me so much about cruising. One of the main reasons I chose Royal Caribbean for the first one was because of your work. Be well and happy cruising, my friend. David, thanks for the very kind compliments. So, you're doing exactly the right thing. Going on a cruise with your kids, I love that. You've done everything else. I mean, it sounds like you've done the rational pre-planning, and I think you didn't talk about excursions. I would, you're going on the Eastern Caribbean. If you're going to Coco Key, prioritize something with your kids, like book a cabana or the water park. They would love the water park if you're going to Coco Key. Otherwise, your shore excursions, I would definitely pick things that are beach related. I mean, if you're teens or anything like my teens and they're girls, they want to sit out and tan and get Instagram photos. So there you go. And who doesn't enjoy the beach in general? In terms of the onboard the ship, the 16-year-old does qualify for the teen club. 19-year-old's too old for it. But have her go on day 1. It's very important. She goes on the first day of the cruise because that's when all of the groups are formed and whatnot. She can go there in the evening. I forget. You'll have to check what time it opens. It's around 7 or 8 o'clock. And that would be huge for them because she's going to want to meet other teenagers, hang out, meet boys probably, and hang out with other girls. Anyway, it's definitely the way to go about that. But otherwise, I think you've got pretty much the right idea. Obviously, prioritize dinner time. You know, if your girls are going to want to be independent, they're going to want to do their own thing. That's fine. But they should know when it comes to dinner and meals in general, you know, come back to the base and we'll do those things together. But enjoy the cruise, you know, together, but also separately, if that makes sense. That's not a bad thing. Next email is from Ian Tewksbury. Good morning, Matt. I have a question about Alaska Jeep Tour and repricing. When it comes to repricing, your advice has been incredibly helpful. Buying the drink package or a beach club pass and then canceling and buying again when the price goes down is great. I've done it several times. I'm looking to purchase the Jeep Tour in Juneau, but when compared to the drink package, there are extremely limited numbers. 15 months out from my cruise, there are only 3 Jeep Tours left. I'm going to assume that it sells out, so I want to buy it now. If the price goes down and I cancel it, I'm afraid someone else might grab it before I can rebook it, or there's going to be a significant amount of time it takes for the tour to re-enter the system. Any suggestions or advice? Great question. You know, I'll be honest with all of you, when it comes to excursions like this, I usually buy it and then forget about it because it's not so much what you identified, Ian, as being the issue. I just look at it as like, I don't see that much variations in prices on excursions. The most volatility that you see in Royal Caribbean prices, drink packages, anything a perfect day. Those are excursions, but that's Royal Caribbean, right? So like admission to like, you know, Hideaway Beach, Cocoa Beach Club, Cabanas, things like that. Wi-Fi. And that's about it. I mean, there's some other things that kind of, you know, especially restaurants and dining packages a little bit. But when it comes to shore excursions, honestly, Ian, I would just, number one, yes, you should definitely buy it, lock it in. And number two, I highly doubt you'll see the price change. They're third parties, so Royal doesn't have that much control over it. Yes, we do see shore excursion sales. Yes, we sometimes see prices change for a particular tour, but I wouldn't expect it. And I don't think this is a use case that I would be that worried about because I don't think it would be I wouldn't expect it to change all that much. I'll be honest with you. I could be wrong on that, Ian. And to answer your question, I mean, it's pretty quick when it comes to repricing, canceling, and rebooking. I mean, the inventory is instant. So as long as you're on the ball, like don't do this on your phone, do it on a computer with a solid internet connection. Like don't do it when you're driving or in the grocery store and you have to take a pause for 10 minutes, right? I don't think it'd be an issue. You can always call in. That's the other thing. You can call Royal Caribbean and, you know, see if they can do it. But I don't know if that's safer or worse because now you're putting your entire plans in the hands of somebody else. But I would, I like I said, I don't know that this scenario will come up that it'll really change in price. So I'm kind of like, but let's say it does, would I change it? Sure. I feel like generally speaking, as long as you're on the ball with it, it generally works out pretty darn well. And last email is from somebody else who didn't give us their name. I wanted to ask about a balcony sea view room on Utopia of the Seas. My husband, 20-year-old daughter, and I are interested in a 3 to 4 night cruise to the Bahamas in August. We're wondering if a balcony sea view room would be large enough to comfortably accommodate 3 adults. Could you please let us know where the third person would sleep? Is there a sofa bed or pull down available in the room? We're hoping to avoid booking a second room as that would be quite expensive. Thanks for your help. Looking forward to hearing from you. So there's a couple things. Number one, when you book a room, if you say, Royal Caribbean, I want to book a room for 3 people, they will only show you rooms for 3 people capacity. Like as an example, if you were to change the capacity, or the amount of people to 2, you would see a different subset of rooms than if you had 3. So that's number one. So basically what that means is any cabin you select theoretically can sleep a third person. Now, now your question is, okay, well, where do they sleep? That depends. That's why you need to look at a deck plan. So when you look at a deck plan, there's a little indicator, a little symbol. Sometimes it indicates there is a sofa bed. Sometimes it indicates there's a Pullman bed, which is a pull-down bed. And other times it's, I don't know, something else. So this is where, number one, I'm going to tell you this right now. You should be working with a travel agent. This kind of a question is a really common one. And it's not easy to screw up, but it's just easier to get right with a travel agent. But you want to look at a deck plan and you want to make sure that it has that kind of an option. Usually it's the Pullman bed for the third person, especially if you're in a balcony room, because balcony rooms are not that different in terms of layout. There is, I mean, almost all cabins of any category have some sort of a sofa bed, but these are pretty small. And you have a 20-year-old daughter. Now, I don't know how tall your 20-year-old daughter is, but Generally speaking, she's probably too big for like most, like it's not even a sofa bed, it's literally a sofa. So you're either going to get a sofa that has a pull-out bed option, like on newer ships, and you're going Utopia. I think that's the case as well. If you face the bed, it's face the sofa, it's a sofa, and then from the bottom you pull it up, and then a new section comes up, and it rises up to match the seating part of the sofa, and it becomes a larger sleeping area. That's the sofa bed. If it's a Pullman bed, it folds down from either the ceiling or from the side, and looks like a bunk bed, quite frankly. So there you go. Hope that answers your question there. Thank you to everybody for checking out this episode of the Royal Caribbean Blog podcast. Of course, you can always email me your questions, matt@royalcaribbeanblog.com. Until next time, I'm Matt. We'll talk again real soon.